Hello students, let's start with the next topic, that is fundamental homomorphism theorem. What is its statement? Consider phi from R to R dash is a ring homomorphism with kernel N. Then phi of R is a ring and the map mu from R over N to phi of R given by mu of x plus N is equal to phi of x is an isomorphism. What is given? R and R dash are two rings and this map is a ring homomorphism. Again, capital N is kernel of this phi. Then phi of R is also ring and we construct a new map mu from R over N to phi of R, and it is defined as how the element of R over N looks like, that is x plus N. Okay, so mu when apply over x plus N, it is element in phi of R, that is it is of the form phi of x. Then this will be isomorphism if this is nu. Okay, if nu from R to R over N is the homomorphism given by nu of x is equal to x plus N, then for each x belongs to this R. Now this is another map nu from R to R over N. It is defined as nu of x is equal to x plus N for each x belongs to ring. For that we have phi of x is equal to mu into nu x. So graphically it can be denoted as, what is phi? Phi is a map from R to phi of R. Okay, element when we apply phi on R, it will look as, that will be phi of R. Okay, then nu is a map from what? Nu is from R to R over N, R to R over N. Again mu is from R over N to phi of R. This mu R over N to phi of R. And phi is directly from R to phi of R, nu is from R to R over N, and mu is from R over N to phi of R. Then phi will be product of these two maps, that will be phi will be mu into nu of x. Okay, that is called as a fundamental homomorphism theorem. Now there is a next topic, that is in group. You already learned it, that for every group there are at least two subgroups. Similarly, there are two normal subgroups. So similarly for ring, every ring has at least two ideals. Which two? First of all, R itself and set with that contains only zero element. So R itself and zero. So this known as, so R itself is said to be unit ideal and set containing zero is said to be null ideal respectively. Okay, every ring has at least these two ideals. All other ideals are known as proper ideals, and these two ideals, unit ideal and null ideal, are improper ideals. Now what is simple ring? A ring having no proper ideals is called simple ring. Means what? Simple ring means a ring which has only two ideals. First is unit ideal, another is null ideal. A ring which do not have proper ideals are called as a simple ring. Now next, similar to subgroups and normal subgroups, another example is, show that an intersection of ideals of a ring R is again ideal of a ring R. So how we show it? What are the conditions for ideal? First of all, it contains zero element. Then for any two element of that subset, their subtraction also containing that subset itself. And next, for left ideal and right ideal. So let us show it. Let us prove this example. What we have to show? That intersection of ideals is ideal. So let us take R as a ring. Suppose N1 and N2 are two ideals. What is our claim? What we have to prove? N1 intersection N2 is ideal. So first we will show that zero contains in these two, means we will show that intersection of this N1 into N2, N1 intersection N2 is non-empty. So first of all, zero contain in N1 and zero contain in N2. Why this is so? Because N1 and N2 both are ideals. Every ideal is a subring, means what? It is additive group, so definitely zero will contain in it. So definitely zero will contain in its intersection. Therefore we can say that N1 intersection N2 is non-empty set. Second, we have to show that for any two elements belong to N1 intersection N2, their subtraction also belongs to N1 intersection N2. So let us show it. Now xy belongs to N1 intersection N2 means what? X and y both belongs to N1 and x and y both belongs to n2. Now x and y belongs to n1. And what is n1? N1 is ideal, so definitely their subtraction belongs to n1. Similarly for n2, x and y both elements belongs to n2. N2 is ideal, so definitely x minus y belongs to n2. So what we get here? X minus y belongs to n1 and x minus y belongs to n2. Means what? What will be our next step? That x minus y belongs to n1 intersection n2. Okay. That is the step. X minus y belongs to n1 intersection n2. Now third, for xy belongs to n1 intersection n2, as x and y both belongs to intersection means both belongs to n1 and both elements belongs to n2. Now for any small r belongs to capital R, we can write, for this xy belongs to n1, we can write rx belongs to n1 and xr belongs to n1. Why we can write so? Because n1 is ideal and by third property of ideal. Similarly, we can write rx belongs to n2 and xr belongs to n2 as n2 is ideal. Means what? As rx belongs to n1, rx belongs to n2 means rx will belongs to n1 intersection n2. And similarly for xr belongs to, we can show similarly xr belongs to n1 intersection n2. So what we proved? That intersection of two ideals is again an ideal of a ring. What about the union? But for union, this property is not satisfied. Means what? It is not necessary that union of two ideals is an ideal. So let us take example for it. Consider two ideals, 2z and 3z. Both are ideals of ring Z. But 2z union 3z is not ideal of Z. Why this is so? We know 2 belongs to 2z union 3z because 2 is element of 2z. And 3 belongs to 2z union 3z because 3 is element of 3z. But what about 2 minus 3? It is minus 1. Whether minus 1 belongs to its union? No, because how this set look like? It will be like 0 plus minus 2 plus minus 3 plus minus 4 plus minus 6 like this. Means what? This element means here this 2 belongs to this set, 3 belongs to this set, but their subtraction doesn't belong here. Means what? Property of ideal is not satisfied, therefore this is not an ideal. Means what we shown here, that union of two ideals need not be ideal. Next example, true or false? Justify. Z4 is ideal of 4z. Now, which are elements in Z4? 0, 1, 2, 3. And elements of 4z will be look like, that is set with 0 plus minus 4 plus minus 8 like this. What is first condition to be ideal? It must be non-empty subset of a ring. Now here, whether Z4 is subset of 4z? No, first property fails. How? Z4, here Z4 is not subset of 4z first of all, because Z4 contains 0, 1, 2, 3 and these all elements are not containing 4z. Therefore, Z4 is not ideal of 4z. Okay. Next example, let Z root 2 is the set of, it is set of the form a plus b root 2, ab belongs to Z, and let H, it is the set of all matrices of the form a, 2b, ba. Okay, all elements will be of this form a, 2b, ba, where a, b are integers. Show that Z root 2 and H are isomorphic rings. So in this type of examples, what one must do? Define a map. We define a map from Z root 2 to H. Okay, from this set to H as phi of, what is the element of Z root 2? It is of the form a plus b root 2. So we take the element from Z root 2, a plus b root 2. We apply phi on it, and its image will be a, 2b, ba. That is H. Now, what is done here to show phi is, what is our claim? To show this map is, these two rings are isomorphic. Means we must show that phi is a ring isomorphism. What is ring isomorphism? It is 1, 1 onto homomorphism. So we will show that this is 1, 1 onto homomorphism. So to show first, that is phi is 1, 1. So what to do to show phi is 1, 1? We take two elements a1 plus b1 root 2 and a2 plus b2 root 2 from z root 2. Okay, and we will consider that phi of this first element is same as phi of another, and from this, if we successfully show that if a1 these two elements are equal, then we can say that given map is 1. So here we have taken two elements from z root 2 and we assume that phi of these two elements are equal. Now phi of this first element means matrix a1 2 b1 b1 a1, and for this is the matrix. Then by equality of matrices, what it implies, a1 is equal to a2, b1 is equal to b2. Okay, means what, a1 is same, b1 b2 same, means what, a1 plus b1 root 2 will be same as a2 plus b2 root 2. Means what we have shown here, if phi of these two elements are equal, then that elements will be equal. Then this is nothing but definition of 1 1, this is condition of 1 1. Okay, therefore here phi is 1 1. Next, phi is onto. So how we show it, that is, for each element in the codomain there exists element in domain such that phi of this element is equal to this image. So phi is onto. Next, to show phi is homomorphism, means what, phi of addition of these two elements is equal to phi of first element plus phi of second. So consider left hand side, consider this side. So addition of these two elements like this. So applying phi means this first part, okay, here b1 b2 2 into second part. So this matrix can be written as addition of both, and this first element is phi of a1 plus b1 root 2, second matrix is phi of a2 plus b2 root 2. So that is, this side is equal to right hand side. So all the three conditions of isomorphism satisfied, therefore we can say that given two sets are isomorphic to each other. Again, for isomorphism of ring, there is another definition is for multiplication. First was for addition, second is for multiplication. That is, phi of two elements is equal to phi of first element into phi of second. So let us take left hand side, phi of multiplication of both. Next we perform multiplication of these two brackets. Next we can write this as, take here root 2 common, this element and second. So by definition of phi, this gives this matrix, and this matrix is multiplication of these two, that is phi of first element into phi of second element. So here what we have shown, phi is 1 1 onto and ring homomorphism, therefore we can say that phi is a ring isomorphism. Okay. Next example is let capital N is ideal of a ring R and 1 belongs to N, then prove that N is equal to R. What is given? R is any ring, capital N is ideal of a ring R, and that ideal contains element 1. If this condition is there, that ideal contain element 1, then N and R both will be equal. Or this statement can also be stated as, if an ideal N of a ring R contains a unit, then N is equal to R. What is unit? We have seen in previous lecture, unit means an element for which multiplicative inverse exists. So the statement is, if ideal of a ring R contains any unit, then N and R must be equal. So from this statement there is another example, that is, prove that only ideals of a field F are 0 and F itself, or prove that a field has no proper ideals. Means what we have to prove, that field has only two ideals which are improper ideals, that is this is set and another F itself. First of all, what is a field? Field is a commutative ring with unity in which every non-zero element has multiplicative inverse. So let us use the previous example. Consider F is a field. So by definition of field, we know that for every element of field it has multiplicative inverse. So here this implies F is a field means every non-zero element of F is a unit, means every ideal of F contains a unit. Okay. So by previous result, if an ideal N of a ring R contains a unit, then N is equal to R. Therefore, if we are taking any ideal, then as it contains a unit, it must be equal to R. So finally, there will be only two ideals. First ideal is set with 0 and another is f itself. So it do not have another ideal. So we say that f has no proper ideal. Okay. Next example is find all ideals of a ring Z23, or it may ask that Z7, Z41. So here notice that here 23, 7, 41 all are prime numbers. We know one result, that if P is a prime, then ZP is a field. Okay. So here as 23 is a prime, Z23 is a field. So by our result, only ideals of a field are 0 and that f itself. Therefore for Z23 only ideals will be null ideal and Z23 itself. So similar explanation we can give for Z7 and Z41. Now there is another example similar to previous that show that phi from C to M to R given by phi of element of C, that is A plus IB, is equal to AB matrix AB minus BA. For AB belongs to R, okay, but because it is a complex number, is a ring homomorphism. So similarly to previous, we will define, map is already given here. So we will show that this phi is, this map is 1 1 on 2 and it is ring homomorphism. And then from all these three conditions, we will say that given map is ring isomorphism. Okay. So you take this homework, example as homework. Another example is if A and B are ideals of a ring R, then the sum of A and B defined as A plus B is equal to, its element will look like A plus B. A belongs to capital A, small b belongs to capital B. Then A plus B and is an ideal of R. Means what? If two ideals are given for a ring R, then addition of that two ideals, that will also be ideal of a given ring. So similar example is for multiplication. Means what? If two ideals are given, then their multiplication will also be ideal of a ring. That is, if let A and B are ideals of a ring R, the product of A and B defined by AB is equal to, this set contains summation AI BI. I varies from 1 to n. AI belongs to capital A. This first element is element of this ideal. BI belongs to capital B. Then this product is also ideal of R. Let us take next example. Show that for a field F, the set S of all matrices of form AB00 for AB belongs to F is right ideal but not left ideal of M to F. So first of all, what is R given? M to F, set of all matrices where entries will be from F. And what is S? S is given as, it is set of matrices of the form AB00. This entry must be 0 where AB belongs to F. We have to show S is right ideal but not left ideal. Means what? What is definition of right ideal? If R is ring, S is non-empty subset of R. Then if x minus phi belongs to S and xr belongs to S. Means what? If element of ring multiply from right hand side, then that ideal will be right ideal. If element of a ring we multiply from left hand side and that multiplication belongs to S, then that will be left ideal. So for this example, what we need to show, that we need to show for xy belongs to S, we prove x minus phi belongs to S, and next we will show that x into m belongs to S for m belongs to m to f, because m to f is a ring, element of ring multiply from right hand side, it belongs to S, means what? This will be right ideal. Okay. So and we will show that mx does not belongs to S. So first let us show that multiplication belongs to S. Let us take two elements x. Let us take two elements from S. It is of the form AB00. This entry 0. So let us take two elements x, A1 B1 0 0, y A2 B2 0 0. Their subtraction will be like this. Okay, and this definitely belongs to S. Why? Because second entry is 0 0. So subtraction belongs to S. Now let us take another arbitrary element PQRS from M to F. Now this is all four entries are some element. Okay, so this M belongs to R. Then x into M. What is x? A1 B1 0 0. This same. By matrix multiplication, we get this matrix, and its second entry is 0, 0, so it definitely belongs to S. So we can say that as element of a ring, multiply from right hand side and then it belongs to S, means definitely this element means what? We can say that here S is a right ideal, okay, because xm belongs to S. But what about mx? If we take m first then x and do their multiplication, then this entry definitely does not belongs to S. Why not? Because here this second row is not 0, 0. And what is condition for element must belongs to S? The condition is second entry, second row must be 0. So here we can say that S is not left ideal, because here we multiply this x by element of ring, we multiply from left hand side, and that does not belongs to S, means S is not left ideal. Okay, so here we have proved that S is a right ideal, but it is not left ideal. Okay, so let's stop here. In next lecture we will solve some more examples. Thank you.